Okay, are you able to see the contents on the screen? Are you seeing? Okay. Are you able to see the contents on the screen, guys? Any doubts? Okay. Are you seeing the
Yes,
contents?
sir.
Anybody?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Ah, good. Okay. Okay. I'll proceed. Okay. First, you should know what you mean by belt drives. Okay. I think you might have seen in a floor mills. Okay. So how the power transmission takes place. Okay. By means of your belt drives. Okay. In case of cycles, bicycles, we are having the chains. Okay. Chain is also power transmission device like that. Belt drive is a power transmitting device. It transmits the power from one shaft to another shaft. Okay, so that you see the diagram. Okay, there are two pulleys. Okay, one is called driving pulley, so which is driven, power is required to drive this pulley. Okay, and another pulley is called as a driven pulley, which is a smaller in size as compared to your driving pulley. And the driving pulley is mounted on driving shaft. Okay, shaft over which this pulley is mounted. You can see this structure. This is called as shaft. And one more is called as driven pulley, which is mounted on driven shaft. And these two pulleys are running over a belt. Okay, so the belt transmits the power from this driving shaft to driven shaft. Okay, the main aim of the belt drive is to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. Okay, so this is called as a belt drive. The main aim of the belt drive is to transmit the power from one shaft to another shaft. Okay, so we are having two pulleys, driving pulley and a driven pulley. Okay, next, what are the materials used for belt drives? Okay, mainly you might have seen in the floor mills. Okay, leather belts or cotton belts are mainly used. So apart from this leather and cotton, sometimes rubber belt and balata belts are also used in the power transmission. You remember the material of belt is made up of leather, cotton, rubber or balata. Okay, so these are the four materials used for the manufacture of belts. Okay, leather, cotton or fabric belt, rubber belt and balata belt. Okay, next, we are having a classification of belt drive. Okay, so there are mainly two types of belt drive. One is called open belt drive and second one is called as cross belt drive. Okay, first category is your open belt drive. Okay, in open belt drives, so we are, as I said, we are having the two pulleys. One is called as a driving pulley and another one is called as a driven pulley. You remember the driving pulley is also called as a driver, whereas driven pulley is also called as a driven or follower. One is driver and one is follower. Okay, and a belt is running in between these two pulleys. Okay, so here we are having two sides. One is called as tight side because the driver pulley draws this belt and running over this one and then transmits the power. As I said, in case of belt drive, the power is transmitted from driver pulley to driven pulley. So this driver draws the pulley, means it is a tight side, and one is called as slack side. One is tight in nature. Okay, and whereas another one is the slack, means it is a loose side. Okay, you remember there are two sides, one is tight side and one is loose side. Okay, the driver pulley takes the length from CD and then transmits over the driven pulley or follower through a length called as AB. Hence, there are two sides. One is tight side of the belt and another one is slack side of the belt. Okay, so it is called as tight side and it is called as slack side. You remember this is your driving shaft. As I said, the pulley is mounted on shaft. Okay, so this is a shaft, as I said in the first diagram. So this is the shaft and this also shaft. Okay. So open belt drive, we're having two sides. One is uh, tight side of the belt and another one is slack side of the belt. Okay. And in second category, cross belt drive, you see the diagram, you observe the difference between first diagram and second diagram. Okay. So here we are once again we are having the two pulleys, driver pulley and a driven pulley, and once again we are having the two sides, and here this is the structure of belt is in cross mode. Okay, so it is in cross section. You see here we are having no cross section at all. That's why it is called as open belt, and it is called as the cross belt drive. So in this type of the belt drive, the driver pulls the belt from side BD. Okay, so this is your tight side. You see here DC is your tight side. In this diagram, BD, because the driver pulley draws from the length BD and then transmits that power to the driven shaft through the length AC. So in the previous diagram, open belt drive, DC is tight side and AB is loose side. Whereas in cross belt drive, BD, you can observe the diagram, BD is tight side. You see the arrow mark also, and AC is the slack side. So the one is driver shaft and one is the driven shaft. So always the driver draws the length and then transmits the power to the driven shaft. One is tight side is BD and slack side is AC. Okay, so mainly remember there are two types of belt drive: open belt drive and cross belt drive. Okay, and one more important thing, one important derivation I am going to do in this class. Okay, go through the derivation properly. Every time they used to ask, derive the expression for the length of belt, open belt drive. Okay, to derive the expression for the length of open belt drive. Before that, you have to draw this diagram, whatever you are seeing on the screen. This diagram is most important diagram. Don't make any mistake while drawing this diagram. Okay, you can find this diagram in any of the textbook. Okay, so first diagram is most important thing. Okay, here once again we are having first you have to draw the diagram. I'll explain how to draw the diagram. First you have to draw one big circle. So this is your driver pulley or driver. Okay, and then you have to draw this one smaller circle, and then you have to join by two lengths. Okay, one is driver and one is driven, and then you have to join by two lengths. Okay, this is your open belt drive. Okay, and then after that what you can do, just you have to mark the center point for both the circles. Here O1 is center of your driver and O2 is the center point of driven pulley or follower. You remember the another name of driven pulley is known as follower or driven pulley, and this is called as driver pulley, or simply it is driver. First you have to draw one big circle and one small circle and then join by two lengths. Okay, and then you mark the 2 points. O1 is the center of driver pulley and O2 is the center point of the driven pulley. Next is you have to draw the you draw one line passing through the center point O1. Similarly, you draw one more line passing through the center point O2. First drawing two circles, next drawing two lines passing through O1 and another one is passing through O2. Next, you have to join O1 and O2 with one line. Okay, now what is O1, O2? O1, O2 is your the center distance between two pulleys, that is driver pulley and driven pulley. Okay, next point is, okay, so what is AB? AB is your loose side and CD is your tight side. As I said, there are two sides. Okay, next let R1, D1 is your diameter of the driver pulley, D2 is the diameter of driven pulley. Hence, R1 is your radius of driver and R2 is the radius of follower. Okay. First you mark O1 and O2, draw all the lines. Then just you have to show R1 and R2 is R1 is radius of driver and R2 is the radius of driven pulley. And the next important thing is, okay, so whatever points you are getting, no, just you join that points from O1 to A, that is your alpha, means exactly we are not getting here, we'll get some angle, it is called as angle of contact. Okay, so we are having angle of contact here, alpha, here also one more alpha is there. Okay, you can see the diagram. So you have to draw from where the length of contact with respect to your O1 and you mark that angle as alpha. So similar way, so we are getting the alpha afterwards, you see. So see the diagram, up to here your vertical line passing through the center point, but we are having some angle, you can observe here. So this is called as angle of contact. We will get the length of angle of contact, one more here alpha, one more here at bottom. Okay, this alpha is same, that is called as angle of contact. So this is the angle. So after joining DC, just you draw a line from O1 to D. You have to draw a line from O1 to A. You have to draw line from O2 to B. This is the point B. Okay, remember. And this is the point C. Okay, so this is alpha. We are getting the four angles, alpha, two alphas on driver side and two alphas on driven side. Okay, alpha, remember, this is the angle of contact between center point to your the length of contact. Okay, so then after that what you can do, you have here you are getting this AB line. Okay, in the same way you have to draw a line perpendicular. Okay, whatever line we are having AB, O1 O2 is your center distance, AB is your the length on one side. Okay, whereas CD is length on other side. Okay, so now what I am going to do, I am going to draw a line O2P. You can observe the diagram here. O2P is exactly parallel to AB. So you have to draw a line O2P which is parallel to AB. Okay, like that you have to draw. In that case, the angle, now you can find out the triangle. Okay, so first drawing the circles, next you have to drawing the lengths, then you have to marking the points, alpha here, alpha here, alpha. We're having four alphas. Okay, and then after next step is you have to draw a line O2P which is parallel to AB in such a way that you can observe the triangle O1 O2 P. In this triangle, the angle P is exactly equals to 90 degree. Then only AB is parallel to your O2P. So this is the construction of your the diagram. So this diagram you have to analyze properly and don't make any confusion. Okay, and one more important thing is whatever angle alpha is there here, so angle O1 O2P is also equals to alpha. These all angles are equal. Okay, so whatever angle of contact you are mentioning here, we'll get one more angle O1 O2P is exactly equals to what angle we are getting here. Okay, alpha. So this is the diagram. Next, how to find out the total length of the belt? You can observe the diagram. This is the entire length we are going to find out. But here we are splitting into three parts. Here from this portion to this portion is your the length of the belt which is in contact with your the driver pulley or driver. And one more here you see length. This length from here to here, this length is in contact with your driven pulley. So, and one more thing, these two lengths AB and CD which are not in contact with either of driver pulley or driven pulley. Okay, so then what is the total length? The length related to this one. Okay, so the length of the belt in connection with your larger pulley. We can call this as L1. Okay, and L2 is what? The length of contact with the driven pulley. We are calling it as L2. And one more thing, L3. L3 is what? Summation of AB and CD, which is the length which is not in contact with either of the two pulleys. Okay, so totally L equals to L1 plus L2 plus L3. L1 is what? The length of belt which is in contact with the larger pulley or driver pulley. L2 is the length of belt in contact with smaller pulley or your driven pulley. And one more thing, L3, it is a summation of these two lengths, means the length of belt which is not in contact with either of the pulleys. First, you have to call this equation as 1. Capital L is the total length of the belt drive, open belt drive. L1 is the length of belt which is in contact with your the driver pulley. L2 is what? The length of belt which is in contact with only the smaller pulley. And L3 is what? The length of belt, this and this, which is not in contact with either of the two pulleys. So first L equals to L1 plus L2 plus L3. You call it as equation number 1. Then how to find out L1? Okay, you remember L1 is here, the total is pi, this up to here it is pi. Okay, pi plus alpha plus alpha. Okay, so pi plus 2 alpha, you can see the diagram from here to here, it is pi plus 2 alpha for driver side, and pi minus 2 alpha. Total from here to here it is pi minus alpha minus alpha. So you should remember pi plus 2 alpha in case of driver and pi minus 2 alpha in case of driven pulley. Okay, so then what is the length of driver pulley? Pi plus 2 alpha into R1. Pi plus alpha whole multiply by your R1. That gives your the length of the driver pulley. Okay, you remember we are going to express the values in angles and radians. I'll explain in the problem. When I'll explain the problem, I'll explain how to take the values of alpha and those things. Okay, now you understand the derivation. Pi plus 2 alpha into R1, that is the length of the driver pulley. You call it as equation number 2. Now you consider the driven pulley. So angle is alpha, total value is pi minus 2 alpha. So driver side you have to take pi plus 2 alpha, and for driven side you have to take pi minus 2 alpha. Pi minus 2 alpha into R2, that is the length of your the driven pulley. Pi plus 2 alpha into R1 is your length of driver pulley. Pi minus 2 alpha into R2 is the length of your driven pulley or follower pulley. You call it as equation number 3. Now next important thing is how to find out, we are having two lengths, right? How to find out the length of these two things which is not in contact with your either of the pulleys. As I said, the total length includes the length of driver, the length of driven, plus the lengths which are not in contact. So you see these lengths CD and AB which is not in contact with either of the pulleys. The first we find out L1 is pi plus 2 alpha into R1. This is pi minus 2 alpha into R2. But to find out L3, what I am going to do, as I said, you have to draw a line O1 O2P, not from O1, you have to take from O2P, which is parallel to AB. So you have to construct the line in such a way that the length AB is exactly parallel to O2P, and the angle P is your 90 degree. Okay, so this one you should keep in mind. Then you have to apply Pythagoras theorems. Okay, so already you know the Pythagoras theorem. O1P, O1 O2P is a triangle such that angle O1P O2 is your 90 degree. Then what is your O2P? Okay, O2P is what? This side. So O2P is square root of O1 O square minus O1P square. Okay, our aim is to find out O2P, not O1P, because this length is parallel to this AB. So from the triangle O1, O2P, so O2P equals to square root of O1, O2 square minus of O1P square. Okay, so here in this triangle, this is the adjacent O1P, and O2P is your base side, and O1, O2 is your hypotenuse. Okay, I think you studied in PUC Pythagoras theorem. So O2P equals to square root of O1, O2 square minus of O1P square. So O1, O2 square minus of O1P square. Then what about O1, O2? So we can call it as center distance. See, as I said, O1, O2 is the center distance between 2 points. Okay. So O2P square root of O1, O2 square minus of O1P square. What about O1, O2? O1, O2 is nothing but C. We are calling it as C, center distance between 2 points. And how about O1P? So O1P is here. You see, O1P is, it is from here to here, it is your R1, and AP is nothing but your R2. Okay, you remember. So the distance O1P is R1 minus of R2. Our aim is to find out O1P. So the total is R1, and minus you have to deduct this one, then only you will get O1P. So the distance O1P is your R1 minus of R2. From here, AP is exactly equals to this radius. So the distance O1P is your R1 minus of R2. Okay. So here in this equation, first we are applying Pythagoras theorem. O2P equals to square root of O1, O2 square minus of O1P square. As I said, O1, O2 is your C square, minus of O1P means what? R1. Here O1P is your R1 minus of your AP is equals to R2. So O1P distance is R1 minus R2. Okay, just you write the equation. Okay, next so first you have to understand this equation. Next, in this equation, what I am going to do, I am going to multiply and divide the denominator by a value called as C square, such that no change in this equation. Square root of O1, O2 square minus of O1P square. O1, O2 is your center distance minus distance O1P is R1 minus R2 whole square. Okay, next what I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply and divide the denominator by C square, such that no change in the equation. Next you write O2P as it is, square root of here C square. I'm going to multiply and divide the denominator by C square, and remaining thing you put as it is, such that no change in this equation. C square in the bracket C square minus of R1 minus R2 whole square divided by C square, means there is no change in the equation. Okay, now in the next step here, what you are going to do here, you are going to multiply and dividing the numerator and denominator by C square for this equation. No change in the value. Okay, or I can write this equation as, because here you are having C square, no? So I am going to take outside. Okay, this C square I am taking outside. So in the bracket, you can write 1 minus of R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. So this is a simplified form of this equation. Because we are having C square term, I am going to take C square outside. In the bracket, 1 minus of R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. You remember, don't put like that, because I'm taking this C square as the common. Okay, 1 minus R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. Okay, next, so in the next step, what I'm going to do, square root of C square is nothing but your C. You can take outside. Okay, and instead of writing square root, just I'm putting the power as half. Both are having same meanings, so you can write either square root r to the power of half. Okay, square root is nothing but means what? It is to the power of half. Okay, just simplified form is O2p square root of c square means what? C I am taking outside in the bracket 1 minus of r1 minus r2 divided by c square as it is, and instead of you have to remove the square root and just you put the power by half. Same meaning, no change in the equation. Instead of writing square root, I am putting it as half. Okay, this is the most important equation. Once you get the equation correctly, we can easily derive the equation. Okay, O2p is what? C means what? Center distance. O1, O2. In the bracket 1 minus R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square to the power of half. Okay, you call it as equation number 4. Equation 1, L equals to what? L1 plus L2 plus L3. What about L1? Pi plus 2 alpha into R1. And what about equation number 3? L2 is means what? Pi minus 2 alpha into R2. Now we are getting the equation number 4 as O2p. What is O2p? O2p is our whatever the length we draw from center point O2. This is O2p, and which is exactly parallel to AB. Okay, in order to find out AB, so first we are finding out O2p, because O2p and AB are same. Once you get this length, easily you can say that this length is equals to this length. For that purpose, we are finding out O2p. O2p equals to C into 1 minus R1 minus R2 divided by C square to the power of half. Okay. Now, next what I am going to do, I think you might have studied various distribution theorem. Okay. Here, using binomial distribution. Okay. We are having a distribution called as binomial distribution. So, you are going to expand the term, and then here we will get so many things, and you have to neglect the higher powers. Okay. For example, here in this equation, I am going to expand the terms only in the bracket. Okay. So this one, 1 minus R1 minus R2 divided by C square to the power of half. You remember, after getting this one, you have to apply binomial distribution theorem. Okay. So how we are going to expand by binomial distribution means, so you are taking this term 1 minus of half, you put as it is in the bracket R1 minus R2 divided by C square, and then you are getting plus. So 1 by 6 R1 minus R2 divided by C to the power of 3, then you are getting to the power of 4 to the power of 5, like that you'll get in the binomial distribution. So you neglect the cube, 4th power, 5th power, 6th power, etc. you'll get, okay, by binomial distribution. Don't consider all the terms. So only you have to consider the first term, okay, in the binomial distribution. That first term is very simple. That is 1 minus of half into R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. Okay, just you rewrite and you'll get plus minus like that, and then you'll get cube, 4th power, 5th power, etc. After this equation, I am not going to consider all those terms, neglecting the higher powers. You have to expand the terms. Only you have to take the lowest power is your square. Okay, that is the binomial distribution of this equation is 1 minus R1 minus R2, 1 minus half into R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. This is the expanding this term using binomial distribution, and remember, not considering the highest power into account. Only you have to take first term. Okay, so this binomial distribution is 1 minus half into R1 minus R2 divided by C square. Okay, so next here, this is equation. Now I am going to substitute this value in equation number 4. What you are going to do here in this equation? You are doing by binomial distribution. Okay, so equation number 4 becomes what? O2p, and see whatever term in the bracket, just you have to replace with this term. This is the binomial distribution. Okay, so C as it is in the bracket 1 minus of half into R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. Okay, so this is the expression for O2P. What is O2P? So the length which is not in contact with either of the pulleys. Okay, so here O2P is exactly equals to your AB, means we found out the length AB on one side. Okay, what is the equation we are getting? Equation is O2P equals to C into 1 minus half into R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. Okay, but I said there are two sides. Now you found out only one side. In the same way, you can write one more line. Okay, it's exactly same. Whatever the length O2P is getting, just you put one more line here. So the whatever the length you are getting, same equation you'll get in bottom side also, because so that it is in symmetrical. Okay, whatever the length O2P is there, similarly you can write one more length here, and whatever equation you derived till now, same value you'll get for bottom side also. Hence we can say that there are two lengths, not one length. We found out for only length. Then for finding out this length, just you are going to multiply by 2 or twice. Okay, so don't take one side, because as I said, there are two sides. Whatever we found out the length for only one side. Okay, so but we are having two sides. Okay, the same equation what you are getting here, the same equation you are getting for bottom side also, because it is symmetrical in nature. That is not shown in the diagram. Just you imagine that there are two lengths, so just you have to multiply by two lengths. The total length L3 means what? The length which is not in contact with either of the pulleys. So 2 times O2P. Okay, just you multiply by 2. Okay, don't take only one value, because there are two lengths. Okay, 2C into, just you are going to multiply by 2C into 1 minus half into R1 minus R2 divided by C whole square. You remember, this is the length of the belt which is not in contact with either of the two pulleys. Now very simple. Next, only this point is most important. You have to get the equation properly. Now we are going to substitute all the values. That is what I said. L equals to L1 plus L2 plus L3. Okay, what is L1? Pi plus 2 alpha into R1. Okay, plus L2 is means what? Pi minus 2 alpha into R2 plus L3 means what? So it is the length of the belt which is not in contact with either of the two pulleys. Okay, so pi plus 2 alpha into R1 plus pi minus 2 alpha into R2 plus this equation. This is the equation which is the length of belt which is not in contact with either of the two pulleys. This is the length of belt which is contact with driver pulley. This is the length of belt which is contact with the driven pulley or follower pulley. And third part is most important. This is the part which is not in contact with either of the two pulleys. Okay, so one is running over the pulley and one is running below the pulley. Okay, there are two lengths. Okay, now in this equation, just I am going to simplify. Pi into R1. Okay, next 2 alpha into R1 plus pi into R2 minus of 2 alpha into R2. Just I am expanding the terms. I am not doing anything here. Pi into R1 plus 2 alpha into R. What is alpha? Alpha is your angle of contact plus pi into R2 minus 2 alpha into R2, and you can write this equation as it is. Okay, next step, here I am taking the common terms. Here I am having pi R1 and here pi R2. So I am taking pi as common term. What will get in the bracket? R1 plus R2, and here 2 alpha R1 minus 2 alpha R2. I am taking the 2 alpha common term. What will get in the bracket? R1 minus R2. Just simplifying. Next is pi R1 plus pi R2 means pi of R1 plus R2 plus 2 alpha. From these two terms, you take common plus 2 alpha I'm taking common in the bracket, R1 minus R2. And here I'm once again simplifying. 2C into 1 is what? 2C. Minus of 2C by 2 means what? 2 gets cancelled. And in the next, after simplification, we'll get only R1 minus R2 square divided by C square. Okay, C square and this C. One C and one C gets cancelled. And in that denominator, you will get only one C. This is the simplification. Okay, pi into R1 plus R2 plus 2 alpha into R1 minus R2 plus 2C, okay, minus of 2C by 2 means what? 2 gets cancelled. Then after that here C and C square. So in the denominator C square and in the numerator we are having C, okay. So after simplifying in the denominator, you'll get as only C, not C square, because one C gets cancelled. So pi into R1 plus R2 plus 2 alpha into R1 minus R2 plus 2C. You remember the terms. R1 is radius of driver pulley or larger pulley. R2 is the radius of smaller pulley. Alpha is angle of contact. And C is what? Center distance between two pulleys. So you call this equation as 6. Okay. Next, we can find out the alpha value. You see that I am explaining this diagram once again. In the triangle O1, O2, P. Angle P is your 90 degree. You know sine alpha. What is sine alpha here? So the opposite side by hypotenuse, and your cos alpha is your base by hypotenuse. I am taking sine alpha. Sine alpha means what? Opposites means what? This is the opposite side, and O1, O2 is your hypotenuse. So sine alpha is O1P divided by O1, O2. Whereas cos alpha means what? O2P divided by O1, O2. You studied in trigonometry. Okay, so sine alpha is opposite side O1P divided by the hypotenuse is your O1, O2. Hypotenuse O1, O2 means what? Your C. How about the length O1P? Already we took it as R1 minus of R2. So we can write sine alpha as O1P divided by O1, O2. What is O1P? Is nothing but R1 minus of R2. You remember, okay, O1P is R1 minus of, this is your R2. So O1P is R1 minus R2 divided by C, that is a sine alpha. Okay, sine alpha is R1 minus R2 divided by C. Okay, so same thing, it is mentioned in the equation number 7. Triangle O1, O2P sine alpha, that is R1 minus R2 divided by C. You remember that in case of belt drive, the angle of contact is very small, okay, not too much. So instead of writing sine alpha, just we are writing it as the alpha for smaller values, okay, not for bigger value. Instead of sine alpha, just you equate it to alpha, okay, you take it as alpha instead of sine alpha, because for smaller values, instead of writing sine alpha, just you write it as alpha. Okay, alpha equals to R1 minus R2 divided by C. Okay, now what I'm going to do, so here you are having one alpha in equation number 6, right? Here alpha. And what about alpha? R1 minus R2 divided by C. Sine alpha equals to R1 minus R2 divided by alpha, or for smaller values, you can take alpha equals to sine alpha. That is R1 minus R2 divided by C. Just I am substituting alpha equals to R1 minus R2 divided by C in equation number 6. Okay. So just I'm putting this one. Okay, L equals to what? Equation number 6 is pi into R1 plus R2 as it is, plus 2 as it is. What about alpha? R1 minus R2 divided by C. One more R is there, R1 minus R2. Then this R1 minus R2 and this R1 minus R2 means what? R1 minus R2 square. Okay, divided by C. Just you substitute the value of alpha as R1 minus R2. So after multiplying, we'll get the equation as R1 minus R2 square divided by C. Then plus 2C as it is, and minus R1 minus R2 divided by C as it is. Here just I'm putting the alpha as R1 minus R2 divided by C, remember. So next you have to simplify. Okay, so pi into R1 plus R2 plus 2 into R1 minus R2 whole square divided by C plus 2C minus of R1 minus R2 whole square divided by C. Here plus 2 value and minus 1 value. Next you simplify in the next step. L equals to pi into R1 plus R2 plus 2 minus 1 is means what? 1 2 minus 1 means you'll get only R1 minus R2 square divided by C and plus 2C as it is. Then finally the rearranging the term, instead of writing this one, first I am writing center distance 2C plus pi into R1 plus R2 plus R1 minus R2 whole square divided by C. So whatever equation you got, so this is the expression for the length of open belt drive. Okay, remember, first you have to draw the diagram very carefully. You have to show all the points properly, like R1, R2, center distance C. Next, you have to draw the parallel line O to P equals to AB. Okay, like that you have to draw. So this is the final equation. You remember, L equals to 2C plus pi into R1 plus R2 plus R1 minus R2 square divided by C. Then what is the meaning? C is what? Center distance. Why 2 times? Because one length is over the pulley and one is the length beneath the pulley. Okay, for that purpose you'll get the 2 times plus pi into R1 plus R2. R1 is what? The radius of your driver pulley. R2 is what? The radius of smaller pulley. Okay, C is what? Your center distance. What is center distance? The distance between two centers O1 and O2. O1 is your the center point of driver pulley and O2 is the center point of your driven pulley. Okay. So guys, any doubts in this derivation? Okay, suppose you are not followed in any steps, I'll explain once again. Have you gone through? Ayush Jeshwal? Ayush? Okay. Ayush Jeshwal?
Yes, sir.
Have followed the derivation? Any doubts in the derivation?
No, sir.
Have you gone? No. Okay, understood all the things like.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all the steps, how to draw the diagram, how to take L1, how to take L2, how to take L3, because this is one of the important derivation. Every time they used to ask this derivation in the exam for 10 marks. Okay, length of open belt drive. Similarly, we are having one more derivation called as length of cross belt drive. Once you understand this length of open belt drive, then usually we can do the derivation for cross belt drive also, because we're having some 4 derivation in this chapter. Okay, this is one of the important derivation. You have to understand, try to analyze the terms, and you have to get the final equation. Okay, what is the final equation? 2C plus pi into R1 plus R2 plus R1 minus R2 whole square divided by C. Okay, Kirtana,
Yes, sir.
understood the steps? Any doubts in the
Yes, sir.
derivation?
Understood. No
Completely
doubt.
understood from the starting to end, I am asking. Okay.
Yes, sir. Understood.
Okay, what about alpha? Can you tell me what is alpha in the diagram? Okay, just I want to know what is
It is the
alpha.
angle
Uh,
between O1P by
uh,
O1O2.
Good. Okay. What about C? What do you mean by C? Okay.
It is the
C means what?
distance between
Good.
the center of the two poles.
Oh, very good. Okay. Okay. Neeraj,
Yes, sir.
understood the derivation?
Yes, sir. I have one doubt, sir, but
Tell me what doubts you are having.
It's not related to the topic you taught today, but related to the exam, sir. What are the portions for
tell me.
the first internal exam? We got a mail saying that it's from the 2nd of March to the 4th of March. So what is the
March? 2nd May to, I think, May, not March, May, I think. Okay.
Yeah, so, sorry, 2nd May to 4th May.
Okay.
So what is the portion, sir? Like what all chapters
What
are
they
there?
said, no, they have said as particular models like model 1 or model 2 is there. What they have mentioned?
No, sir,
in
they didn't say anything like that.
Okay. So I'll inform, okay, that usually first 2 models will be there for exam. Okay, first 2 models, for model 1 and model 2. Okay, maybe.
Okay, sir.
Maybe model 1 and model 2, your energy resources, and what about your model 2 explained in class, no, that turbines, hydraulic turbines, and formation of the steam at constant pressure. Most probably models 1 and 2, as per my knowledge. Okay.
Okay.
Still I'll confirm, okay, in the next class, okay, how they're
Fine, sir.
What notification you got? They mentioned the time also in the notification, like when you are having 2, 3,
No, sir,
4,
they just said the dates.
only
They just
2,
gave
3,
the dates
4.
saying the further details will be shared shortly.
Okay. So mostly that models will be there. Okay. Anyhow, I'll confirm in the next class. Okay, when you are taking the next class, no, I'll confirm the models. Okay.
Fine, sir.
Okay. Any doubts apart from this one? Any other queries?
No, sir.
Good. Rohit Lochip. Rohit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Have you followed all the things whatever I did today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. No doubts at all. Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you guys for joining. Okay, I'll stop here only. Okay, in the next class, I'll do one more derivation, that is the length of cross belt drive. Okay. Okay. Thank you, one and all. Okay. And one more thing, all of you have to enter your USN in the chat box without fail. Okay. So that don't forget to write your USN in the chat box. Okay.